there, my name is Kelly Dale with Off the Beaded Path, and this is your Must Know Monday for Monday, May the 13th, 2019. So today we need to talk about 2mm beads. There are lots of 2mm beads out on the market right now, and although they're all called 2mm, they're not all 2mm. So we need to talk a little bit about those differences, and so that you can see the difference between different brands of beads that call themselves 2mm. So today, one of the biggest things I'm going to be using is my digital measuring tool. Now this one we do sell on our website at offthebeadedpathbeadstore.com. They have many different kinds of these, but this one is my favorite because number one, it's digital, so you know you are getting the correct reading. But number two, it's just a really nice tool that will come in handy. Now if you remember a few months ago, we talked about diamond duos, gem duos, how they say they're one size, but the finish makes them another size. So it's similar to what we're going to talk about today, except for we're going to talk about the brands of 2mm and what size they actually are. Now if you remember in last week's video when I talked about the Rose Rivoli bracelet, I told you that true 2s would work. So today I'm going to show you a true 2 and what they're used for. Okay, so here on my tray are the 3 most recognized 2mm on the market. This is a 2mm fire polish bead. This is a true 2 fire polish bead. And this is a 2mm rondelle. So the fire polish beads I actually use quite a lot, and I really like them. Most fire polish beads are a check bead. And they are pretty nice and uniform with a nice oval shape. So the first thing I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my tool here and I'm going to zero it out to where it is at 0mm. Now, like I said, this is called a 2mm, but we actually need to go ahead and measure the bead so that we can see. So if I place it straight up and down like this, you can see that instead of being 2mm, it's a 2.3mm this way from hole to hole. Now let's flip it the other way. This is the width, I guess I would call it, of the bead. And you can see again, there's our bead, and it's a 2.4mm. So even though they call this a 2mm fire polish, we really don't get that 2mm size. Now this is what's called a true 2mm bead. It almost, and I don't know if I'll be able to show you really good here, if it'll come in really good. It looks like a fire polish bead, but it looks like they took knives and just chopped the ends off of the bead there. It's a very blunt end bead, and these work really great in place of a size 8 seed bead. So you can see here, if we put it hole to hole like this, 1.9mm. Now let's flip it in the other direction. They call this a true 2 because they say it is the only true 2mm bead size on the market, and you can see there it clocks out right at 2mm. So that is why these are called true 2s. Now with the true 2s, they're a lot more expensive. They have really beautiful facets to them, and like I said, they're really great to interchange with a size 8 seed bead. Now this is a 2mm rondelle. The 2mm rondelle is 2mm from hole to hole. So, and it's actually a little bit bigger. So I have it here. Let me get it. There we go. Flat, hole to hole, 2.5mm. Okay. Now, if I do the actual, do it this way, the opposite way, it's a 2.7mm. So this is marketed as a 2x3. So you can see the difference in our 2mm fire polish, our true 2, and our 2mm rondelle. So our regular fire polish is a little bit bigger because of that oblong shape. Now, while we're talking about things that are interchangeable with our 2s, I did want to show you the sizing. This is an 8/0 Toho seed bead. And so with this one, you can see it's about 2.1 millimeter hole to hole. And if I turn it this way, it's 2.7 millimeter. Now that's the Toho. Now this one here is a Miyuki brand. Okay, so this one again, Miyuki. So from hole to hole, let's get it on there. Okay, you've got a 1.9 millimeter. And then side to side like this, you have a 2.8. So you can see that with the size 8 seed bead, they're really good to interchange with some of your 2 millimeter beads that you might use. Okay, so now I hope that you understand the differences between your fire polished 2 millimeters, your true 2s, and your 2x3 rondelles. They're really, really nice to work with no matter which size you use. I also wanted to remind you that any physical order placed this whole month of May 2019, you're going to get my brand new pattern, the Rose Rivoli bracelet, which Starman came out with completely for free. No coupons necessary or anything like that. We also are still taking pre-orders for the 4 color kits that I showed in last week's video. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye!